Hello everyone, welcome to the purple classes of the Ras Indica IAS Academy. Desh Badra, Padhai Badlo. Again, we have come up with the very important session that is the part 2 of the agriculture. In the last part 1, we have done regarding the cropping pattern in India and the parts of the world. What is the meaning of cropping pattern and how we follow this cropping pattern? What types of cropping patterns are there? Okay, then we have also discussed regarding the cropping pattern and what is the meaning of cropping system and all these things, right? So now today we'll be discussing regarding the agriculture part 2, cropping system in India, type of crops and issues, right? So we will be all discussing this topic in our current class. So let's start with our session and thank you so much for joining the session. So agriculture part 2, cropping system in India, type of crops and issues. So first of all, before going through anything, we have to first of all find it out like how our agriculture or how our cropping system has evolved since thousands of years, right? It is not like that whatever we are doing today we were doing earlier also, right? Earlier there was something else. 200 years back, 300 years back, there was something else. Right now there's something else. So how that thing has evolved, right? So whenever we talk of that any evolution has many factors. Okay, whenever we are doing some evolution, like if something is evolving, it is because which it is evolving. So, the factors can be anything like your technological advancement, changes in the agriculture policy, socio-economic factors, environmental consideration, if we name some of them, right? So these are all factors which have contributed to the agriculture what we are now seeing. Okay, so from the traditional practices to the modern practices, how we have evolved, that we are going to discuss in the today's session. And today session is also will give you a lot of information, lot of concept, lot of things where whenever you are sitting with your friends or if you're preparing for any interview, you will have a data set in your hand, you will be having proper points in your hand in order to discuss wherever you go, and you will be able to explain your points properly. And these points, I always tell you, like these points are there. If you are able to remember and if you are able to revise these points properly, you don't need any other books to refer. You just need current affairs to refer. Okay, you just need current affair because all the static information has to be supplemented with the current affairs knowledge, right? That too, if you have like traditional subsistence, green revolution, you know date and time. Okay, how much green revolution. So now we will be talking about how this our system of agriculture has evolved. Like since 200 years back, we have already a traditional subsistence agriculture. People normally have a confusion what is the meaning of subsistence. Subsistence meaning here the farmer are working in such a way that they are growing crops only for their own consumption. They are only growing crops for their own consumption. That means they have only that much of land, they have only that much of resources where they can just feed their family and themselves. Okay, so they will not be having that much of surplus which they can sell it and keep the money for the future, right? So normally this traditional subsistence agriculture was going on since hundred of years, and it was also predominantly, right now also we are following subsistence agriculture because in our country two-third of the farmers are small and marginalized. They are a small and marginalized farmer. They don't have big farms. They don't have big lands. Okay, because of the fragmentation of lands and very low land holding, very low, very less land holding they are having. So because of that they are forced to do subsistence farming. But subsistence farming also depends on the type of soil fertility, type of climate where they are doing that, and cultural practices. So this is the main first point, how our agriculture has evolved. Then by 1960s and 70s, during that time we are facing the food crisis. We are facing the food crisis. In 1960s we are facing the food crisis, And we have also faced with two war. In 1962, we faced the war with China, and in 1965, we have waged a war with Pakistan. And during that time, our country is not having enough food, and we are getting the food from outside, from America, under PL 480, Public Law 480. They used to send us red rice. They used to send it, red wheat. It is red in color. Okay, red wheat rice, that is red in color, and that is of very low quality wheat and rice that they used to send it to us, right? During that time, our country is not producing enough to feed themselves, so it is also a very like a kind of a disrespect to us that somebody else is sending food and we are fighting the war, right? So people used to say that the country is not having food but they are fighting the war. Okay, so these are the two ironies that we were facing. So during that time, even Indira Gandhi was there, and then we have our uh, Lal Bahadur Shastri, former Prime Minister of our country, Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. He has given a slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, right? Hail the soldier, hail the Kisan, the farmers, okay? Because why Jawan? Jawan is because they are fighting the war, and Jai Kisan is because they are producing food for the country. Okay, so under that, they have tried to find out like what exactly we can do. So from 1960s and 70s, we have Professor M.S. Swaminathan. I hope everybody know Professor M.S. Swaminathan was there. So he was also called as father of green revolution in India, right? And this year, 2024, he has been awarded posthumously. He has been awarded the Bharat Ratna. Bharat Ratna Award. Okay, so 1960 and 70, the situation started changing, and so this all process happened in particular northwest of India. This green revolution normally happened northwest of India, that we call it as Western UP, Western Uttar Pradesh part, Punjab, and Haryana. Okay, so the first experiment of this green revolution happened over there. They have come up with high yielding variety of seeds. They have come up with better irrigation techniques and chemical fertilizers and pesticide, and we have seen an increase in the agriculture productivity, especially focusing on the food crop. Okay, especially focus is on food crop. Food crop means which provided us with the carbohydrate like rice and wheat. A special focus was there on the food crop because we wanted to increase the food into the plate of the poor. Okay, so we converted. So during because of this green revolution, our India was converted from the food deficient country to the food surplus country. Right now, we are exporting the food to the African nation and various other nations. Then in our India, we have seen the evolution towards the cash crop. Earlier, we were only producing staple crop, but slowly we have moved towards generating of the cash crop. Cash crop are the crop which are mainly for the purpose of selling, which are mainly for the purpose of selling. Okay, whenever you are cultivating the cash crop, you only keep a particular amount of it, you have a tea, you have a coffee, you have a sugar cane, you have spices, you have oil seed. Okay, you have a cotton and everything, right? So you only keep a little bit because you cannot keep all this because this that is of no use for you, right? So normally the crash crops are the crops which are normally utilized for the because of the market demand. They have a market demand, that is why people, and it generates additional income for the farmer, rather than going for a staple food, because rice and wheat can provide them with certain degree of income security, but cash crop provided them with a better living standards because they have their high demands outside. Only few type of farmers who have a very good farmland and everything, they used to used to cultivate these cash crops. And because since two-third of the people, two-third of our uh, farmers are marginalized and small, so that is why generation of the cash crop is not very easy for them. So normally the cash crops like sugarcane, oil seeds, spices, cotton, these are all being grown on a large fields. Okay, so it helps in diversifying their income, and income security is also maintained for them. Then diversification and crop intensification after the green revolution, crop intensification started. We have yesterday we have done a concept which is called gross cropped area, and we have also done a concept of net sown area. I told you that if we have 100 acre of land, in 1 year we are growing two crops, rice and wheat, in 100 acre for one time and 100 acre then wheat. Okay, so gross cropped area will become 200 acre, and net sown area is only cultivated once, that is 100 acre. Okay, so gross cropped area shows the crop intensity. Okay, crop intensification, how much intensified your crop intensification, it is being given by the how much gross cropped area you are having. That means how much time you are cultivating that field with a newer crop. Okay, that is called intensification of the crop, and that also shows your cropping pattern, right? So right now, earlier farmer used to cultivate only a single crop, but as the resources get multiplied, as the resources, water, fertilizer, irrigation, everything came into being properly and everybody's getting it, farmer utilizing multiple crops and started cultivating multiple crops in a multiple cropping pattern, in the intercropping pattern, mixed cropping pattern, like that. Earlier, we were during the time of Green Revolution in 1960s and 70s, we were solely focusing on the chemical fertilizer. But as the time has passed, the people have realized that what are the issues with the chemical fertilizer. They are creating a lot of problems to the health of a people. They are also destroying the soil and water bodies. So slowly, we have started in India. We have started converting them into a organic farming. Okay, still the organic farming is at the nascent stage, at a very smaller stage, but yeah, it is picking up the pace. And if we go like there is a Sikkim, one state is there in Sikkim. Everybody knows that it is called as organic, fully organic state. It is also called as fully organic state because we have also known that what are the demerits of utilizing chemical fertilizer. It affects the soil health. Pesticides will remain on the soil, pesticides will remain on the plants. Because, and based on the food cycle and food chain, it goes into the human body, it goes to the human body. So that is why many farmers are doing transition to organic farming, and if they are doing transition, they have a sale value. They have a sale value because now people are becoming more and more aware of these things. People are becoming more and more aware that we have to utilize organic things because these are natural, and it also boost our health, and also don't provide it any kind of unnecessary chemical fertilizer. Okay, so it helps in reducing chemical inputs, it helps in proper rotation of the crop, and since we are following the things that are natural, so automatically it is pro earth, agroecological principle it follow. That means whatever the principles that are there in the earth, which earth has created for themselves, we will be following that. Then government has also started providing a lot of support to the farmer. Government has come up with a lot of laws, government have come with a lot of schemes, subsidies and everything, because government is investing a lot of money in the agriculture sector, whether you are doing providing insurance, whether you are providing the soil health card, whether you are providing a pension to the farmers, then research on the crop field, okay, credit to the farmers, right? So a lot of schemes are there which are being, which earlier were creating, a lot of schemes are there which started supporting the farmers, like we have created new agriculture policy, right? We have a Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana where agriculture research keeps on happening. Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. Paramparagat is a Hindi word that means organic. Organic, the way natural farming used to work. The main purpose of that, why government is giving too much of boost, because agriculture is the backbone of the country. Agriculture is the backbone. If we are able to set the agriculture properly, automatically all the other sector, whether it is manufacturing or service sector, automatically falls into the place, right? Then we have started using technological innovation heavily. We have started utilizing technological innovation heavily. We have started doing precision farming, like precision farming in the form of drip irrigation. We are also doing sprinkler. We are utilizing sprinkler system. Remote sensing satellites are there. Okay, whenever any pest attack happens, whenever any hail or storm happen, we used to do remote sensing in order to find out the damages. We also do remote sensing in order to find out like when it is going to rain, what type of weather it is. Okay, so slowly farmer will be utilizing that. Genetic engineering, I hope everybody know PM mustard, sorry, GM mustard, then BT, cotton, all these things are there, which have been, we have converted the gene of that, which suits our ecological climate, and then digital cropping system are there. So all these technologies are helping the farmer with the help of mobile phones, with the help of their laptops and everything, with the help of the Krishi Vigyan Kendra, Vigyan Kendra, with the help of Panchayat office, with the help of panchayat office, we are setting each and everything because we wanted to utilize the technology in such a way that we are able to take very informed decision. We wanted to take very informed decision, optimize our natural resources properly, and whatever the risks has come, we can mitigate those risks, and we can also find out like when the pest attack will happen. So technology is coming to saving over there. Now, this is what we can call that, yes, like in a concluding thing, what we can call it as that there are a lot of factors in which cropping system of India is based on. It is based on agriculture practices, it is based on societal norms, physical conditions, sorry, three, government policies, economic consideration, and historical aspects. So this is how holistically you can write anything by collecting all the aspects of that. Okay, then after that you can just simply tell like what exactly, like irrigation expansion has happened, infrastructure development is happening, market penetration has happened, and short duration drought resistance, crop rapid urbanization. So this is how, if you get any question related to cropping system in India, you can conclude it like this. Okay. Now, what were their trends and what were the issues of Indian agriculture system? So there are a lot of issues and trends that were there in Indian agriculture system. If we go by the first thing, we know that we have a dominance over food crop. 80% of the gross cropped area that is there in our country, we are only allocating to the food crop production, especially rice and wheat. That is a again a issue in the Indian agriculture system, because our Indian agriculture is heavily dependent on rice and wheat, and our farmers are heavily dependent on rice and wheat, and they are cultivating only that. Okay, slowly we are able to convince the farmers that yes, you can move towards the other food non-food crops. Okay, so there is a need, there is a trend that we are moving towards non-food crops. Okay, you can go for oil seeds. Okay, you can go for sugarcane, you can go for your cotton, these are all, you can go for jute cultivation, all these things. And we have to make them realize that these have a better price realization and commercialization of agriculture. Now we discuss the next topic, variety of the crops. Okay, so as you all know that India has a very diverse climate, right? So Indian soil is good for almost every type of crop, whether you do tropical crop, whether you grow tropical crop, whether you grow temperate crop, whether you grow cold climate crop, right? Whether you grow hot, humid climate crop, okay? So Indian has a diverse soil. Soil are of various type, alluvial soil, then we have red soil, we have laterite soil, we have black soil, we have mountainous soil. Right, all the type of soil are present. It is not that India has only a particular type of climate. India has a monsoonal climate, but India is being located at a places where India has a both tropical and temperate type of a climate, which can support all type of crop, all type of fruits, all type of vegetables. Right, so slowly, India is moving ahead in the cash crop, and slowly, there is a transition that is happening from subsistence to commercial farming. You know, even those people who are doing the subsistence farming, they are also moving towards the commercialization of crop because of the better facilities. Earlier facilities are not there, so they can grow only certain amount of thing, but now better facilities, irrigation, water, power supply, fertilizer in a same field only now because of the crop intensification. Okay, because of the crop intensification, now they can grow good amount of crops in a same field which they cannot earlier do it. Now, slowly, horticulture production is surpassing the total food grain production. Slowly, that is also happening, and our horticulture project has a huge demand in the export market. We are selling a lot of horticulture product to outside world, whether Africa, America, US, UK, Europe, like that. Okay, UAE, Dubai, then Saudi Arabia. All these places, our horticulture products are going because the climate of the Arabian countries are not that well suited for the horticulture crops, so they used to get import from India. Okay, and now slowly, we have even started emphasizing on our oilseed production. You know, India is uh, not producing enough they're not producing enough oilseed for their own consumption. So we are the net importer. We are getting from Indonesia, Malaysia, or from all these countries. We are getting oil seeds and we are getting oil from these countries. So slowly, government is running various schemes and various program in order to boost the oil seed production in the country. Okay, so that has been in the trend right now, and the main purpose is that since it will help in diversifying find the economy. At the same time, it will also provide farmer with the income. It will boost export, and it will also reduce dependency on the imported edible oils. Right. Then dominance of the cereal crops. We have already written that wheat and rice are the dominant food crops. 82% they are coming under. So why they are have a preference for the cereal crops? The main reason for them is they have a more preference for the cereal crop is because they are getting good better price in that, because minimum support price government is providing to 23 crops. So that is why people tend to grow only these 23 crops and then ignoring the other three crops. And under that cereal, that since we are doing since many years, so there is a lower production risk because we know that exactly how much we are going to produce, and we are also very sure about the type of money that we are going to get from that. Okay, and in our country we have a good seed bank is there for the cereal crop, so we are able to utilize that seed properly, and that means it is like that something in which you are very used to. आप बहुत ही used to, okay, हाँ, rice and wheat, okay, fine, we can grow it any place, anywhere. Okay, I just need seed, this five of seed, this much of water. Even if the market falls, I will get the money out of it, right? Then there is a declining in coarse cereal. Coarse cereal क्या होता है इसको हम in Hindi we call it as मोटा अनाज. मोटा अनाज. And in budget 2023 24 last year budget, they have given the name as Shri An. Shri An, right? So core cereal are like jowar, bajra, millets are there, maize are there. Okay, so there was a declining trend that was happening since 1950s to 2016. So earlier in 2000, 1950, we have a 48% of the coarse grain production was there, and then it got declined to 25%. But now it is on increasing trajectory because of the government support. And 2023, year 2023, we have celebrated as International Year of Millets, and government has done a lot of programs under that, and government is boosting this coarse cereal production in our country, and government is also providing the better seeds, better irrigation facilities and inputs in order to increase the production of these coarse cereals. Now, what are the type of category of crops that are there in India? We have a lot of variety of crops that are grown in India. So, that we have all know the names of the crops, but we have been put under the various criterias are there. Okay, crops can be your food grain crop, crop can be your cash crop can be your horticulture crop, it can be a plantation, it can be fiber crop, it can be commercial crop, pulses, legumes, spices, condiments, and livestock and feed. So we have already know food crops. These are the crop which are the staple crops of the that is being eaten by whole of India. Okay, because it helps in gaining the India's food security. Right. So that is why during the Green Revolution in 1960s and 70s, food crop was the main focus area. Right. So we have rice, wheat, maize, and millets are there. In the millets you can put sorghum, pearl millet, tinder millets, pulses are there, lentil, chickpea, pigeon pea. So these are all comes under the food crop, but major focus was there during that time was on rice and wheat, and now we have started focusing on maize and millets also. Cash crops are the crops which are only have a commercial value rather than for consumption. That means people don't want to consume themselves, but they wanted to sell it to the outside world. Like we have a cotton, sugarcane, oilseed, right? Soybean, groundnut, tea, coffee, spices are there, right? So spices I have put it in the separate segment, but you can call that as a cash crop only, because you cannot keep sacks of spices, a big sacks of tea and coffee bags at your home, right? You only need a certain amount of time, a certain amount of quantity of this, and rest you have to sell it to the world, right? Then horticulture crop like fruits, vegetables, flowers, and all these comes under the we have a wide range of the products are there: mangoes, bananas, citrus fruit, apples, grapes. So you can see the variety of the crops that are there in our country. So I just wanted to give you one additional information. Horticulture, like it came from a word that is called hortus. Okay, horticulture came from a word that is called hortus. Hortus means garden, and culture means to cultivate. That means garden cultivation. So normally, whenever we talk about the fruit, vegetables, flowers, and various other things, we always consider them as a flower, as a garden cultivation. Okay, so they are not being done in a very large scale, but they are being done in a smaller scale, and then they add up together, right? Then we have a plantation crop. Plantation crop has their own set of criterias are there, because they are grown mainly on the large estates. Big estates are there. Like if you go to Pondicherry, or right now the name is Puducherry, right? If you go to Uti, right? If you go to any hilly areas, you will find big estates. Big estates are there. Big estates. People are controlling these estates, and they are growing plantation crops. Extensive plantations are there of tea, coffee, rubber, spices, cardamom. Okay, Kerala you go. Okay, Kerala, and various other places are there. Okay, then fiber crops are which have a fibrous material. Fibers like cotton, jute, and silk, right? So if you know that cotton, our Gujarat area, Karnataka area, there we have a lot of black soil is there. Cotton cultivation is very important for the black soil. Jute cultivation is for our eastern part of India, when India was not divided. Okay, when Bangladesh was not created, so in the West Bengal we have a big factories. We have big factories of jutes and cultivation. But once the partition happened, the jute producing area went to Bangladesh, and jute mills remain with the uh, West Bengal side. So because of that, this industry has suffered a lot. And then silk is also a fibrous crop. So these are all very, very important for the textile productions. Then commercial crops like sugar cane, tobacco, rubber, cashew nut, they put under the commercial crops. And pulses and leguminous like chickpea, then these are for a better protein sources are there, and they also help in boosting the soil fertility. Why? Because nitrogen they have nitrogen fixation bacteria with them. So whenever we have a issue with the soil, in which soil nitrogen is not there, because nitrogen is also very, very important for the production of the crop. So we try to do crop rotation with the leguminous crops. Okay, we try to cultivate leguminous crop before cultivating the main crop, because once you cultivate the leguminous crop, it fixes the nitrogen from the atmosphere and increases the nitrogen on the soil. Okay, then spices and condiments are there. Spices condiments are there, like we are normally used for flavor purposes and medicinal purpose. Pepper, cardamom, turmeric, cumin, coriander, these are all being sold outside. And if you know that our like our 500 600 years back, when the king system was there, we used to trade in spices and condiments. We used to trade in pepper, we used to trade in cardamom, we used to trade in turmeric, we used to trade in cumins and coriander and everything. And you know, black pepper, like pepper, but black pepper is also called black gold. Okay, black pepper is also called as black gold. Then we have a livestock feed crop are there. There's the crop which are needed to feed the livestock, like cows, buffaloes. Okay, like alfalfa is there. Okay, then we have maize is there, then sorghum is there. So this is how we divide the crops of India, right? So this is how we have given a proper breakup. And you remember all these things, because all of a sudden if any question come regarding this, you have the data in your hand. आपके पास पूरा data रहेगा, data facts रहेंगे. Okay, this crop, that crop. Okay, you have a points in your hand, and you just have to mold the points as per the need of the question, right? Now here I wanted to show you some data regarding the final estimate of the production of major crops in 2022-2023. So this has been given by the Press Information Bureau. I hope everybody knows that. So total food grain production stood at 3,296.87 lakh ton. Out of that, rice cultivation was maximum, more than half of that. 30, no, not more than half, it is just below half. 1,357 lakh ton, and then wheat is 1,105 lakh ton. Then coarse cereal mota anaj, right, is 573.19 lakh ton is there. Then maize 380, then pulses 260, tur 33, and gram 122. Okay, so these are all the food grain, and they have been shown a very good rice percentage of rice from the preceding year. Then oil seed production is 413.55 lakh ton, which has to be increased 3 to 4 times in the coming future if we wanted to become if we wanted to reduce the dependency. We have to reduce the dependency on imports, so we have to increase this. Then we have a groundnut, like in oilseed, in the oilseed, groundnut is 102, and soya bean we have 149, and rapeseed and mustard seed 126. Okay, that all amounts to 413.55 lakh ton. Then sugar cane is 4,905.33 lakh ton. Cotton is always calculated in bales. Okay, that bales means is 170 kg is the unit of one bale. Okay, so there are around 336.60 lakh bales of cotton has been produced, and jute and mesta 99.93 lakhs bales. Okay, that is 180 kg each. So this is the data. You remember, okay, what happens is that you just need a upper data. You just remember this data: food grain, oilseed, sugarcane, cotton. You don't have to remember each and every separate data, only the data which is the bigger data. Okay, and whenever you are writing the answer, and if you put this point in that, if you just try to put the point in that, so automatically the examiner will feel that yes, he or she knows exactly in and out of everything. Okay, you have a data points, you have a logical reasoning, you can put the points also, you can give the datas also, right? Like that you have to work on it, right? Now we are moving towards the category of crops in India based on season. You know, in India is divided into season. Okay, they can ask you question like this also: please categorize the crops of India on based on the season and explain what each and every season is all about. Okay, so in India we have a three seasons, so based on the cropping season. Okay, so one is Kharif season. Kharif. So I was just finding out what is the meaning of Kharif. Kharif in Arabic that means autumn. In Arabic that is called autumn, and this time period is June to September. June to September, right? Every year, June to September is called Kharif season. That during that time, it is also called as monsoon season. Monsoon season, right? So we have to make sure that this exactly data we know, right? So we call that as summer crops. Obviously, June to September, we call it as summer only, right? So during that time when the rain started, during the June month, we sow the seed and we harvest at the end of the monsoon season. When the September October time, we just take the harvest of that. Okay, so normally the plant is planted during the time of June and July, when the first and the second rain came. Okay, when the monsoon rain comes, okay, it wets the soil and then it is good for cultivation. Okay, and it is harvested in September and October. September and October, right? So few examples of that are like in the northern state, if we go by if we go by north and south, if we go by north and south, normally these are the crops which are grown in the Kharif season: rice, maize, millet, cotton, sugarcane, groundnut, jowar, bajra, tur. Okay, you know, jowar and bajra, we do the chapatis of these. Okay, during the winters we eat the chapati because we have sown that in the Kharif season. That is why we are eating in winters, right? Rice, paddy, it has to be fully flooded with water. Obviously, during the monsoon time, it has to be flooded with water, right? And maize are there, millets are there. Okay, so in the major north state, in the north area, we have rice. In the north area, we have rice, we have cotton, we have bajra, we have maize. Okay, we have jowar, we have tur dal. Okay, in the south area, in the South India, we call it again rice is there, maize is there, right? Ragi. They have a different ragi. It is reddish in color. That ragi they normally utilize. It is very high rich source of energy and high source of fiber is there. Okay, jowar and groundnut. Okay, jowar and groundnut, moongfali. Okay, so in South India they have a ragi and groundnut that is separately being put. Okay, now we coming into the Rabi season. Rabi season is called a winter crop season. Okay, इसमें wheat we plant. Okay, normally Rabi season is for wheat, and normally October to March it goes. Okay, October to March it goes, and during October and December we are planting the crop. We are planting the crop and we are harvesting in spring during March time. Okay, right now there is a harvesting. Right now when I'm doing this video, March is going on, and right now harvesting of the Rabi crop is taking place. Okay, wheat is being harvested. Barley is going to be harvested. Mustard, chickpea, pea, all are there. Okay, wheat, gram, mustard, barley are there. And in the in the north area, we have these crops are there. In south area, we call it by rice, maize. Then again, we have ragi is all time, groundnut and jowar are there. Okay. So Rabi means from the Persian word. Rabi comes from Persian word that is called spring. During the spring, we are harvesting during the springtime. Okay, like that you have to correlate the things. Then Zaid crop. Zaid crop is a very short duration crop between the Rabi and Kharif. Okay, before the Kharif start and when the Rabi ends. Okay, Rabi ends and Kharif season start. Between this season, we have Zaid crops. Okay, normally April to June. Normally April to June, they are being put, and normally focus is on the vegetables, fruits, and fodder. fodder material is there. Okay, like we have watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, betelgeuse, pumpkin. Okay, you can go to the sand area wherever the river is there. In the river nearby we have a sand, and you can see that these are all being produced over there. Okay, so this classification helps categorize the farmer knows like what at what time he has to sow, or what type of he has to sow, he has see what he wanted to show, so that they can get maximum agriculture output based on the local climatic condition. Okay, right now we are still dependent on the monsoon, right? So we have to follow the agro-economical zone, agro climatic zone area we have to form, because then only we will be able to properly utilize that whole system. Okay, now these type of distinctive in the crop season does not exist in South India. In South India what happens is that the temperature more or less remains same. Okay, there is no extreme condition in South India. We don't have extreme conditions. We don't have extreme condition, right? So temperature is already high over there, so you can grow tropical crops during any period, because but provided soil moisture is there, because in South India there is a huge water issue is there, because of the rock system, and non-porous rocks are there. So there is a huge issue of water. If you have a good soil moisture, you can grow tropical crops over there. And people used to grow over there with proper better irrigation facilities. They are doing 2 3 crops in a year if proper sufficient moisture is there. But you cannot do the tropical crops every time in the North India, because you have to follow that process. Okay, Zaid, Kharif, and Rabi season, like that. Now we are moving towards a crop diversification and intensification factor. Like, under what factors under what factors crop diversification happens, under what factors intensification happens. Okay, lot of factors are there, lot of factors, so you should remember these. Okay, you should remember these, what factors are responsible for crop diversification, what factors are responsible for intensification factor, right? So I am giving you, actually, I have prepared these notes so that your answer writing is also getting developed. You are getting to the point direct answer over that. Okay. Whatever question on agriculture comes, these are all the set points that you wanted to keep. Okay. So everywhere in India, we have a different cropping pattern is there. Okay. So why? Because there are physical features that are different, land holdings are different, market facilities are different, and government policies is varying from each and every part. Okay, so they depend on soil and climate. Soil and climate means what type of your agroclimatic uh, zone are there. Agroclimatic zone. What type of agroclimatic zone is there? Tropical, temperate, semi-temperate. What type of setting you are having, you can utilize. Then resources like what are the resources are there that you wanted to keep over here is, resources can be your electricity, you have a water facility, then you want fertilizers, all these things are there, fertilizers are there, rainfall is there. Okay, what all things are there. Now, what is the role of technology? What is the role of technology that is there? So let's see what is the role of technology means in the form of mechanization. Okay, in the form of innovation. Okay, your seed, high yielding variety seeds, right? All these things are there. What is the cultural requirement? Then infrastructure facility. What is your cold storage system? What is your post management and pre-harvest management, post-harvest management system that are there? Okay, irrigation facility. What is your irrigation facility that we are talking about? After that, what is your market system? What is your market system? All these things are coming. After that, condition of household means whether food is sufficiently, whether the fodder material is self sufficient or not, Like until and unless the farmer is sufficient in his own food requirement, he will not go in investment. Once the farmer is having good fodder material, once the farmer is having sufficient food and fodder, okay, if farmer is having sufficient food and fodder material, then only farmer is going to invest in crop diversification. And then social and economic condition, like what is the land use, okay, then what is your size of the farm, what is the land titles, okay, land holding, fuel, fiber, finance, investment, okay, everything, all these comes over here. Pricing structure, okay, like what is the pricing, like if I do the intensification, what price I will give it for my product. If you have done any international agreement, or if there is any agreement between the country, then what pricing I will get for my product. Then institution, those who are helping and supporting, like Nafeed is there, okay, then Food and Agriculture Organization, for the international it is there. Then we have FCI, Food Corporation of India is there. Then we have a lot of other institutions are there, which are helping in research, which are helping in innovations, which are helping in marketing system, and all these things are there, okay. So crop diversification depends on this. So total 8 points you are having on that. Now now here we come under the concept of like type of diversification. But before that, I wanted to tell you, like, what factors determine crops by a farmer. Whatever we have done here, it is the overall scenario. But what farmer looks forward for it, like what factors determine the choice of a farmer, what type of crop the farmer will take, what type of crop he will not take, why he has taken that crop, why he is not taking that crop. It is depends on the size of the land holding. Based on the size of a land holding of a farmer, then only farmer decide, okay, that type of crop we are going to hold it. If he has a very big field, he can go for it, he can go for cash crops, he can go for fruit crop. But if he is not having that holding, so it is not economical to go for that type of crop. How literate the farmer is, how knowledgeable, how properly he understand this cropping system, cropping pattern. Then farmer also look for diseases and pests, like earlier he might have hurt it because of some kind of disease and pest in his crop. So that also the concept that he will see before deciding any type of crop. Then ecological suitability, it is not like that in a dry area you are growing rice. It is totally out of context. You can grow rice only on a waterlogged field. Water logged field only you can grow. So ecological suitability is also checked. Moisture ability, how much soil moisture is there, and for how much time it is going to remain. And then financial stability, like farmer also have to have a credit. Farmer also should have a money to decide, like what they wanted to have, what they don't want it to have, okay. So financial stability is also one of the most important thing. Now we are coming here, like type of diversification, what you can do and what is the potential benefits, okay. If you are improving the structural diversity, okay, so you are making a crop with a field more than structurally diverse, so you will have a pest suppression. That means 2 3 crops you are going, if pest attack on one crop, your second crop will be safe. Then genetic diversification, that means you are mixing variety of the same species, like you have a rice, you are mixing R1 type of rice and R2 type of rice, okay, right? So again, different type of rice in a single field, it will increase the production and it will also decrease the suppression of the pest, right? Then diversify field with fodder grasses. You can put fodder grasses over there. Okay, you are growing grasses along with your food pulse or something like that. Okay, again, we have advantage of livestock will get food, pest suppression will happen, and automatically we will be saving our money. Crop rotation can be temporal, based on time, one after the other. Crop rotation, or you can do sequential, okay, over the space. Like in half field I do doing that, in half field I'm doing that, okay. Normally most of the potential benefits are same, but it depends on you what type of diversification unit. Like if you have cows and buffaloes at your home, cows and buffalo at your home. So what type of intensification you will go? You will go with diversifying field with grass and fodder, because along with your food crop, you are going fodder crop also, because you will get fodder for your cows and buffalo, and you will also get your food. So based on the type of what is your need, what is a farmer need, okay, that is. Then polyculture, it is spatial and temporal both, that means in the space and the time frame. Again the same thing. Agroforestry, growing crops and trees together spatially and temporally, right? Then mixed landscape, mix of cropping system and multiple ecosystem. Micro watershed base, okay, you are creating a micro watershed. You are putting crops, providing certain in such a way that it keeps on providing income generation to you. By you are putting a crop, then you are putting a horticulture crop, then again a crop. Okay, so similarly you are generating employment, and at the same time you are converting the crop, one is in the horticulture, then fruits, to then food crops, like that. And then you are also generating a proper soil, and you are also helping the environment in that, right? Now we discuss the major cropping pattern that are followed in India in detail. Like in India, we follow, like this is a kharif system. Kharif system, that is why, because we are following the rice based system, right? Monsoon crop is rice crop. So there are certain part of India which are following rice based cropping pattern, and some part of India they are following non rice based cropping pattern. Okay, under rice based they are following either relay cropping or mixed vertical cropping, right? Relay cropping means what? Whenever when they are put a seed, so seed of a succeeding crop like lentil, gram, pea, beshram, linseed is sown through a broadcasting and manuring rice crop. Along with that, so this is done in both upland and lowland rice culture. So first of all, you should know what is the meaning of upland. Upland means it is grown in rain fed area, and lowland means grown where the water is irrigated, right? So, broadcasting in maturing rice crop. Along with that rice crop, these crops are also grown, right? Then in mixed vertical varietal cropping, mixing the seed of early rice, Ahu, with late maturing deep water rice, Bahu, it is mainly practiced in West Bengal. Okay, so this is mixed varietal cropping is there, where they are mixing the seed of Ahu and Bahu, and the main focus is on the West Bengal cultivation. So these two type of cultivation, that is rice based, where rice is the main crop. Then there are in the Kharif season only, there are non rice based also there. Non rice based is there, that is maize based, they grow maize. Somewhere they use bajra, they or some place where they use cotton, because they may not have that much of water, so they use non rice based agriculture over there. Then Rabi, post monsoon crop. Okay, so what is the link? Like wheat and gram based, right? In the Rabi cropping season, we put wheat and then gram. Okay, in the same field, wheat and gram. So the two crops are grown under identical climate, and they sometimes get substituted for one another. कभी एक लगा दिया, कभी दूसरा लगा दिया. Then otherwise there is a Rabi and Jowar based. One Rabi crop and then Jowar. Okay, along with the Jowar, Bajra pulses are grown in alternate as a alternate crops. Okay, Rabi is grown with Jowar, Bajra pulses as a alternate crops. Right. Now we are moving to the major agriculture region of India. Right. So if you wanted to write, you can write down. So first of all, we will talking about the rice region. Okay, so here I have kept a blank slide where we will be discussing the rice region. So this is a rice based system that is followed in India. Right, in the lower Gangetic and Brahmaputra region, normally rice along with jute and tea is cultivated. Okay, tea on the hills areas, and rice and jute. So this is a combination that is being followed for cultivation, like rice, pulse, and millets. one combination is there. Rice and millets, another combination. Then rice, coffee, and spices, it is another combination. So this is how in this combination the things are being prepared. Okay. Now we are moving into the wheat waste. Wheat. So for the wheat region, we have a wheat, maize, and sugarcane. Wheat, maize, and sugar cane, right? So normally this is only the thing which is being covering the West UP, Himachal Pradesh, and Jammu, right? Then we have a wheat, jowar, bajra region. Okay, wheat, jowar, and bajra are cultivated in this combination. So normally it has been covered in Punjab, and Haryana. Okay, then if you go by wheat, jowar, bajra, then when we call it as again, it is going in the Malwa, Bundelkhand region. Bundelkhand region is also one of them, right? Now we are moving towards the jowar, bajra region. Jowar, bajra region. Okay, so you can see here we have a jowar, bajra region is there, right? So jowar, bajra region is composed mainly along with if you are going jowar, then you can go with cotton. You can go with cotton. Then jowar, we have cotton, we have oil seeds, we have millets. So this combination happens in Karnataka and Maharashtra. Okay. Then jowar and wheat. This is the combination that is only followed in Rajasthan, Haryana, and some parts of UP, and then Bajra, Jowar, Pulse, Bajra, Jowar, or you can put pulses also here. So you can go for Rajasthan region where desert areas are there, because all these are drought resistance crop and they do not require much of the irrigation facility. Then you can go for this combination of the crop, right? Then we are with the cotton region. We have a cotton region in India. Now, how the cotton region is there and how a cultivation of cotton happens. So, what we do is that we grow cotton, then we grow jowar and bajra. Jowar and bajra. Like it is in Maharashtra and western part of Madhya Pradesh. Western part of Madhya Pradesh, we can go for it. Okay, or you can put cotton and oil seed. Sorry, oil seed you can put, and normally this combination is good for Gujarat and Maharashtra. Okay, and then we can go for cotton, pulses, and rice also is there. So you can go this with Gujarat area where we have a good water facility, because since we are putting rice over here, so that means in Gujarat we have a Narmada river, Sardar Sarovar Dam is there. Eastern part of the Gujarat, we can grow this type of crop. Then we have another region is there which is called millet and maize region, where you can go millet and maize are there. Normally they are being grown in Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so maize based or millet based are there which are grown, and all these places like along with the jowar, bajra, and all these things are there. So Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Gujarat. Okay, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Gujarat are the region where we are growing these things. Okay, you can go for maize based or rice or maize also you can grow like that. Now what is left? We are left with fruit and spices. Yeah, fruit and spices. So, fruits and spices. Well, fruits and spices. They are very climate specific. Climate specific. So you cannot grow them everywhere. Okay. So that is why they have a very, very small area to grow. Okay. Very, very small area, high altitudes, uh, higher altitude, hilly areas, okay, Himalaya foothills, Nilgiri foothills, okay, Western Ghats foothills are there like Nilgiris are there, Annamalai, Malai is there, Cardamom hills are there. All these places are there where we can grow these fruits and spices. Then we have foothills of Himalayas. Okay, all these places are there where you can grow fruits and spices and various other type of crops. Now we are moving towards the major crop since this is also a part of your syllabus. So we will be discussing 5 to 7 crops are there. Okay, so we will be going in a faster way because we have already done like what exactly we have to do. So rice is the major staple crop of our country, and it is always grown in a because this is a staple crop eaten by everybody in our country. So it is a cereal grain and very helpful in carbohydrates provided because this is a food crop which provide lot of carbohydrates and source of energy. So this has been cultivated along with the wheat in an extensive area in our country. Requires warm and humid climate, and always we need flood and waterlogged condition. Okay, so that is why it is a water intensive crop, and it can only be grown where we can get flooded water or waterlogged water. Okay, so that is why it requires a very high rainfall, and rice can be only cultivated where heavy irrigation we can provide. Okay, so it has a very specific area where it can grow. Normally eastern and southern part of India like West Bengal, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka are the region. Now we have a wheat. So wheat, again a second most important cereal crop. It is a second most important cereal crop we are having after the rice, and also it is a very rich source of carbohydrates and proteins. Okay, so the climate condition is slightly different than your rice. It requires cooler climate. That is why it is called as Rabi crop. Okay, so that is why we sow that in the month of October to December, right? The October and December, and it requires moderate temperature and well-defined season, and it requires a sunny weather. It requires a sunny weather when we are harvesting. Okay, when we are harvesting. So it requires well drained fertility. That means the water should not get logged. You provide irrigation, but water should not remain for longer time. And it is less water intensive than rice, and you can grow this crop in rotation. Okay, in order to increase the fertility. Okay, you can put rice, you can put wheat, and then again you put some pulses, and then again you can put these food crop. Major places: Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, and parts of Rajasthan. It is. Now, maize. Maize, very versatile crop for human consumption and for animal feed. Both are there. Okay, maize cultivation is very high in US, UK, Europe. Okay, that is a staple crop of these places, and it requires warm climate and proper rainfall. It is requiring, and you can grow this in diverse type of soil. Okay, diverse type of soil you can grow, and maize has a very good ability to adapt to the various soil types, okay, including sandy soil and clay soil. It is there. Okay, and this crop you can grow in order to help in crop rotation process. That means if you wanted to do crop rotation, you can rotate your crop with this maize crop because it will help in increasing and boosting the soil fertility. At the same time, it will also have a nitrogen fixation property which create a good soil condition by fixing the nitrogen. Okay, so Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Uttar Pradesh are the main places where it is grown. Then cotton, very extensively, it's a very extensive fiber crop for textile industries. Okay, normally tropical and subtropical climate, mainly cotton requires black soil. black soil, or it is also called as Reger soil. Okay, Reger soil, and which is mainly found in the Deccan Plateau. Okay, Deccan Plateau, where Gujarat, parts of Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, we can go forward. So that is why it is and it requires a very long duration of frost-free days. That means in the air, frost should not be there. Okay, otherwise sometimes we have a frost crystal, ice crystals are there, and it creates a lot of problem to this cotton crop, and cotton crop gets damaged because of the presence of frost. So it requires around 220 days of frost-free days. Okay, so it is labor intensive because you have to pluck it. You have to pluck that flower from that. Okay, you have to pluck that bulb from that, and it requires good amount of fertilizers and pesticides to stop the pest. Because BT cotton right now we are using. Okay, BT cotton you might have heard, right? BT cotton we have started because it is a genetically approved cotton variety where it has been made in such a way that it is less uh, uh, prone to any kind of diseases. Okay, so that is why we have started cultivating BT cotton in place of the natural cotton. And cotton are mainly grown in Gujarat, Rajasthan, Punjab, Andhra Pradesh, where climate conditions are suitable for this. Then we have sugarcane. Sugarcane is a very tall perennial grass for generation of sugar and ethanol. Ethanol is a alcohol, and right now we have set a target that by 2030, sorry, not 2030, by 2025, we will be blending our petrol with 25% ethanol. Okay, earlier the target was 2030, but now we have sent it to 2025. Okay, so it requires heavy irrigation because sugarcane crop requires very heavy. It is a water intensive crop, and it is only harvested once. It is a year round crop. Okay, full year it takes 12 to 12 months to grow. Okay, normally in Uttar Pradesh is the largest producer of sugar, not sugar cane, but sugar producer of the world in the India. Maharashtra is the second, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and whenever we are providing them with proper climate condition, we can just go ahead with that. Then tea, it is the most consumed, widely consumed beverages crop is there, right? It requires cool and moist climate and well drained soil. Okay, that means the water should not get retained. It just touches the soil and goes away, right? So the tea cultivation is a very labor intensive. Here you have to pluck the leaves. Pulling, plucking, and processing you have to do. So based on the type of variety, we have a black tea, we have a green tea, we have a white tea, whatever type of tea you are. So normally in Assam area, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, these are the hilly areas. Okay, so it is well grown in a hilly areas, moderate hilly area, not very high hilly area, moderate hilly area where we have a slightly cool and moist climate is there. Then we have a coffee. Again, a most popular beverages crop is this. Okay, its beans are there, which is being roasted to make the coffee, and it has having a high amount of caffeine. Okay, because of that, it has a very good aroma and flavors are there. It is grow in cool and wet climate, proper rainfall, and normally in the hilly range from 600 to 1200 meter it used to grow. But above 1200 meters it is not that much good, but that 600 to 1200 meter is the optimum range for growing of the coffee. Okay, so coffee cultivation is often shade grown, with tree providing shades to the coffee. That means if there is a very big tree, just on the in the shades of that we grow a coffee. In the shades of this plant we grow a coffee, and highly labor intensive. And Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra Pradesh is well suited for this climate because they have a western ghats, and western ghats has a average elevation of 600 to 1200 meters. Okay, and we all know about the filter coffee of Karnataka, right? Then we have a pulses. Pulses. These are leguminous crop. Leguminous crops are the crops which fixes the nitrogen, which fixes the nitrogen from air. Okay, which is used by the plant, right? Now, this is a leguminous crop. I have already discussed that it fixes the nitrogen. Normally, the major pulses crops are tur, arhar, urad, right? Moong, right? Normally 20 to 25 degree of temperature is needed, and 40 to 50 centimeter of rainfall. That means very less rainfall it requires, and is a major source of protein. major source of protein vegetarian people for vegetarian people. Okay, so they are nitrogen fixing, they improve the soil fertility, and normally we put that in rotation, crop rotation, so that it improves the soil quality. Majorly Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh are places where you can do this. Oil seed, very important, oil seeds. So oil seed can be your mustard seed, then soya bean oil, coconut oil, groundnut oil. All these things are there. So they are especially for extracting oil from their seeds. They have a healthy fats, they are proteins, and other nutrients are there. So for various type of oil seed, we have a different climatic condition. Okay, we have a different climatic conditions are there. Okay, so oil seeds are mainly thrive at that place where we have a slightly warm temperature and adequate rainfall. Okay, so they are very important for cooking purpose, right, and for industrial processing. But still, lacking behind. We are lacking behind in this whole process because we are importing it from outside. So we are not able to motivate our farmers to grow much of the oil seed, and we are not able to like put various type of policies right now. Government is running various program and policies in order to increase the oil seed production in our country. Majorly these are being grown in Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. So maximally most of the crops that are grown in India, 4 or 5 states are there in which all the type of crops are grown, like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Now we are moving towards the very important topic, that is called conservation agriculture. So till now we have discussed everything. Now this is a general topic. What is the meaning of conservation agriculture? So whenever we talk of the conversation agriculture, here the word is conserving, doing agriculture without hurting the environment. Main three principles are there. Three important principles are there. One is minimum soil disturbance, no till. Minimum soil disturbance, that means do not disturb the soil at all, not even for digging, not even for tilling. Then permanent soil cover should be there, and diversified crop rotation and intercropping, that is the third. Okay, so minimum means minimum soil or no tilling means we all know that whenever we have to do agriculture, we used to plow, we used to till. That is a common practice, right? So this practice lead to soil erosion and loss of soil structure, and because of that soil fertility also get decreased. So under the conservation agriculture, we are leaving the soil as it is. We are neither tilling, neither plowing. So we are all eliminating this operation altogether. We are leaving the soil undisturbed without any disturbance. Okay, whatever the organic matter was there, it is there. What type of soil that is lying there, it is like that. What type of microbes are there, they are there. Okay, so no tilling helps in prevention of soil erosion. No tilling helps in soil moisture conservation, because if you start tilling, the moisture will evaporate. And it also reduce fuel consumption, because now we are not doing tilling and plowing with tractors. So we are preventing the fuel consumption, and because of that greenhouse gas emissions is also going down. That is a minimum tip. Now permanent soil cover, how we are maintaining the permanent soil cover in conservation agriculture? We all know that if soil erosion will happen, it will lead to fertility loss, topsoil will get lost. Okay, so we wanted to keep crop residue on the top, so that it protects the below soil from erosion, from water, wind, or whatever erosion. Okay, if lot of soil cover is there, like dry leaves are there, dry branches are there, they are just lying like that. Okay, so that is called our permanent soil cover. So it helps in maintaining the permanent soil. Okay, so how we can do it? We can keep the crop residue without removing the crop residue or without burning the crop residue. We keep the crop residue as it is. Okay, after harvesting, we are keeping that residue as it is during the fallow period. Okay, we are not either burning and we are not even removing that. Okay, so it helps in regulation of the temperature, it reduces the weed growth, and it also promotes soil moisture retention. If you make your field totally flat, automatically the water will evaporate from that, weed started growing, soil temperature will keep on changing. But if you keep some kind of residue over that previous residue, it will remain intact. Then diversified and crop rotation. So monocropping, we all know that it's a very huge issue. Monocropping से क्या होता है, what happens, it leads to nutrient depletion, pest will increase, disease pressure will be there, and resilience will decrease. So conservation agriculture focus on diversified crop rotation. Conservation agriculture focuses on intercroppings so that we have two, three crops at the same time. Intercropping we have done in order to prevent the crop. Okay, so this helps in soil health, obviously. Various type of soil at various type of product, various type of crops are there that improves the soil health. You might putting the food crop, you are putting the leguminous crops, you are putting the horticulture crop. Okay, it also reduces the pest and diseases pressure, because now pest and diseases don't have their life cycle attached to only single crop. Okay, it helps in increasing the nutrition cycle, and soil fertility is also maintained. Similarly, because of all these things, biodiversity is also maintained, and farmer will be having proper weather support system for this whole cropping system. That is conservation agriculture. If you see over here, you can see here. This is a picture, a pictorially representation. What is the importance of conservation agriculture? Three principles are there: crop diversification, minimum soil movement, and soil coverage. So you should remember these 3 points. Okay, you should remember these 3 points, that what is soil conservation, what is conservation agriculture. It is crop diversification, minimum soil movement, and soil coverage. Okay, the rest all are these benefits that we have already discussed. You can just, if you're reading, then you can just go ahead with this. Now the second topic is green revolution krishonnati yojana. So this Krishonnati Yojana program was approved in 2017-18 to 2019-20. Focus was on holistic and scientific management of agriculture to increase the farmer income, doubling the farmer income. Okay, by enhancing the productivity, by enhancing the production and better returns on the product. Okay, so during the 14th Finance Commission, this Green Revolution Krishonnati Yojana has been approved. Under that, there are various schemes and sub schemes are there. Total 12 schemes are there which got merged together. Like you have a national mission for integrated development of horticulture, special focus on horticulture, and national mission on oilseed and oil palms, food security mission, sustainable agriculture, agriculture extension, seed and plantation material, agriculture mechanization, plant protection and plant quarantine, then agriculture census, agriculture cooperation, agriculture market, and national e-governance plan, NEGPA. So these are all the important 12 schemes and sub schemes are there, which has to move in a integrated way. So whenever we will be doing the video on schemes, we will be discussing all these schemes in a very detailed way. Okay, so here we are just talking about the green revolution, how Krishonnati Yojana is boosting the green revolution holistically. In the green revolution, we have only talked for the food crop, but right now Krishonnati Yojana, we are focusing on 12 important schemes, whether it is related to horticulture, whether it is related to oil farm, food security, agriculture research and extension, mechanization, plant protection, agriculture census. So holistically, we have taken all the topics together. Then we have a bringing green revolution to Eastern India, BGREI. How we can bring the green revolution to Eastern India. It has been launched by the government again to increase the productivity and income of the farmer. Focus area is Bihar, West Bengal, Odisha, Jharkhand, and Eastern Uttar Pradesh. You know, the green revolution happens in the Western Uttar Pradesh. Now they wanted to enhance this agriculture productivity. How we can bring the green revolution to the Eastern area, because these area, Bihar, West Bengal, Odisha, Jharkhand, and Eastern UP are there, which have been lagged behind because of the development of the western area. So this scheme was launched in 2010 and 11, 2010 and 11, and to prepare the places which have been lagged behind in the agriculture development. Okay, so various strategies are to be devised under that: improve crop variety, then modern agriculture techniques, proper water management techniques, high yielding variety, and everything will be utilized in order to bring green revolutions in that area. So it is like there are a focus area that productivity has to be increased, because productivity means earlier 1 acre is producing 10 kg, but now we wanted from 1 acre again we wanted 20 kg from that. So productivity has to increase. How we can increase the productivity? By providing good amount of fertilizer, high yielding variety seeds, proper amount of irrigation facility and everything. Then sustainable agriculture practice, that means agriculture should happen but it should not destroy the soil, and it should not destroy the environment of that place. Okay, agriculture infrastructure, post harvest, pre harvest, then we have a storage facility, market research and everything. Okay, so this will help in balancing the regional disparities, because eastern India has a huge of regional disparities, and by bringing this green revolution to eastern India, we will be helping in bridging this green revolution, these disparities. Now Operation Green. So Operation Green is especially focusing on certain horticulture crops: tomato, onion and potato, called as tops. The focus area was to stabilize the supply, because you all know that during certain period of every year, we see that okay, tomato price are running 200 rupees kg, 300 rupees kg, all of a sudden onion prices goes high, all of a sudden onion prices fall down. Okay, so in order to stabilize the prices of onion, potato and tomato, government has started Operation Greens, commonly known as tops mission. Okay, so that there is no significant price fluctuation that should happen. No, we all know that this is a very essential commodity in the kitchens, right? And they are highly volatile. Sometimes false shortage is also being created. So that is why government wanted to make sure that the prices should remain stable, whether whatever the season variations are there, market dynamics are there, but we have to maintain a proper regular supply with optimum price value. Okay, so the promotion of the cultivation of these crops in clusters, proper storage facility, so that all of a sudden the onion and potato do not get rotten away. Okay, proper transportation and infrastructure has to be provided so that they can be transported a long distance without any damages to them. Market reforms has to be done, and we have to also check the farmers, that they should not carry that even the holders, those people who hold these things like onion, potato and tomato, they should not hold it, and they and farmer should get proper better price for their commodities. Okay, so we are following a broader strategies over here to increase the production, also at the same time pre-harvest, post-harvest losses, and pre-harvest and post-harvest infrastructure has also been, we have to put in a proper way. Okay, so since we have taken this concept from the Operation Flood, Operation Flood is related to milk. Now we are milk sufficient, we are the largest producer of the milk in the world. Similarly, we wanted to make this Operation Green in order to stabilize the proper supply of tomato, onions and potatoes. Now the last topic that I wanted to discuss today is zero budget natural farming. The word itself suggests zero budget. So it is a type of a natural farming where we are having a zero budget. That means we will do a natural farming without any money or a very minimum amount. Okay, so the main purpose of this natural farming is that wanted to discourage the use of chemical fertilizer. So this idea was proposed by Subhash Palikar, okay, regarding the zero budget. Zero budget means we will not utilize any of the inputs. We will not provide that much of irrigation, we will not provide that much of pesticides, we will not provide that much of fertilizer, or very very minimal input resources. Okay, we will be focusing on natural process to boost the soil fertility and crop productivity. So the principles are zero budget. Zero budget means we will be eliminating all the external inputs, or very minimal, very minimal. Okay, we will not use costly seed, we will not use chemical fertilizer, we will not use pesticide, but we will use all the thing which is present in the nature. All the things like cow dung we will use, cow urine we will use, crop residue we will use, and various other organic matter which are there. Okay, it is, see, natural farming is not called organic farming. Natural farming is something where we are looking into the nature, and we are taking the things from the nature itself and converting them into a farming. Okay, so what are the zero budget natural farming inputs are? Cow dung, cow urine, jaggery, pulses. Pulses will provide you with nitrogen fertility. Okay, all these things are there, so they are already locally available, and it is, you be cautious, you be cautious, present everywhere. Okay, and with the help of proper soil fertility, with the help of the natural inputs, we will be able to control the pest and the diseases also in the farming whole process. Then soil health, how we can maintain the soil health? By mulching, by covering the soil with the mulch. Okay, on the top of that we cover the soil by the mulch. Mulch means the residue of the crop we can put. Crop rotation we can do to improve the soil, and mixed cropping we can utilize. So okay, in this way we can help in soil fertility, and water retention will be done. Seed conservation, traditional and indigenous variety of seed we will be utilizing, not that high yielding variety which are chemically made. Okay, so this will help in encouraging and saving the various type of money in buying the seeds. Then livelihood security, since there will be a minimum input cost and minimum reliance on the external inputs, so farmer will be able to utilize all the things in a proper way, because farmer don't have to buy each and everything. It is all being present free of cost nearby, but you just have to utilize them. Okay, you will be all reducing the expensive inputs, you will be all reducing the external market forces, and you will be utilizing for your own livelihood purpose, and you will be able to generate good income, because your input cost is very very less, right? Your input cost is very very less, and you will be utilizing for it yourself. And this whole process is highly environmental sustainable, because we are using natural farming. Okay, I give you an example of jungle. If you go to a jungle, do anybody provide water to jungle? Do anybody provide fertilizer to jungle? Do anybody provide seed to the jungle? But jungles are growing, correct? So that means the things are already there in the air, in the soil. You just have to let them work. Okay, so this helps in conservation of natural resources and mitigation the environmental degradation. That is called zero budget natural farming. Now, the most important thing today, I thought of discussing one like some questions, but I will be discussing only a single question, like how you write a UPSC answer. How you write a UPSC. Here, I will be discussing you one question. So, first of all, you see the type of questions that is being asked. Okay. So, in this chapter, like in this topic, like what are the major reasons for declining of rice and wheat yield in the cropping system? Okay. So, you have all the points that I have discussed today. You just have to mold it for this answer. Okay. Then, how has the emphasis on certain crops brought about the changes in the cropping pattern in the recent? But that means government is emphasizing on certain crops, and how that has done a change in the cropping pattern. And they said that you discuss this by taking millets as an example. Okay, so this is how you read a question. This is how you read a question. Then the third question: how do subsidies affect the cropping pattern, crop diversity, and economy of a farmer? So here you have to answer 3 points. How subsidies affect cropping pattern, that is first part of your answer you have to do. How subsidies affects the crop diversity, that is the second part of your answer. And how subsidies affect the economy of the farmer, that is the third point. Okay, so you have to answer each and every aspect of the question, because examiner will be looking for these aspects. And even if you, and you have to make sure that examiners see that aspect. So that is why you have to do proper lining, then you have to properly underline the things, that here I'm discussing this point, here I'm discussing that point. So that answer writing we will be keep on doing in the later on classes. So we will be taking this question today. Okay, we will be taking this question today, that how has the emphasis on certain crop brought about the changes in the cropping pattern in the recent past. Okay, so we will be taking that emphasis based on millets. Okay, so the question is, how has the emphasis on certain crops brought about changes in the cropping pattern in the recent past? Elaborate the emphasis on millets. Okay, so here what is the integrated answer that we call it as? How many points I have taken? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 7 points are there, and we have started with a very balanced, so you have a very balanced introduction, proper body, and a very balanced conclusion. Very balanced conclusion you should have. So what, how are the emphasis? So now the emphasis on certain crops, particularly millets, has brought about significant changes in the cropping pattern. Like how the millets have led to change in the cropping pattern. Okay, so first of all, it is related to climate resilience. We know that India is a diverse country. Various agroclimatic conditions are there. So millets like pearl millets, finger millets, ragi, sorghum, jowar, these are all grown in a arid and semi-arid area, and which require less water compared to the rice and wheat. So with these climate change leading to the increased viability pattern and more frequent drought, there is a renowned focus. Again, here we have said that why we have a focus on this millet. So we have done this first part. Then nutritional security. Millets are known as powerhouse and nutrition house. Okay, if you wanted to solve the problem of malnutrition and micronutrition and undernutrition, millets are high source of protein, fiber, and micronutrients like iron and calcium. Okay, so promoting millet consumption will address the nutritional deficiency. That is the second point. Okay, then third point is smaller farmer livelihood. Okay, any farmer who has a very small field, they can grow these millets, because these millet do not require too much of inputs. Okay, they just simply rely on the rain fed, so this millets also don't require too much of rain and everything. Okay, so policymaker are using the various other things in order to improve the quality of the millets, and policymaker are providing various scheme to the people, and they are providing drought resistance crop to these people. Then millet, the usage of the millet has also helped in the water conservation. The uses of the millet and millet crops has also helpful in the water conservation. Okay, because these are the less water intensive crop. These are the, then what are the government initiative that government is doing? Government is running millet missions. Government is running International Year of Millets. International Year of Millets in 2023. Right? What is the purpose? To boost the farmer income, promote millet based food distribution, and government is also has also included millets in the PDS system. So what is the cultural significance of the millets? It has been integral part of our country, whether it is of diet, culinary. So if you go to the farmers, whether you go to South India, North India, East India, wherever you go, you will find millets in their food plate. So this is what it is helping in preserving this tradition. Okay, there is a lady in Madhya Pradesh. She has preserved around 600 seeds of various type of millets. Then market opportunities is also government is providing. That is why the cropping pattern is been changing. Okay, so there is a growing market for the millet, because government is internationalizing the millet. Ready to eat snacks, breakfast cereals, bakery items, all are being made from the millets also. So there is a demand spurt, and that is why it is creating economic opportunities in the millet market. So similarly, if you can see here, what is the emphasis on certain crops brought about the changes in the cropping pattern? Focus is on millets. So this is how climate is climate resilience. It provides nutritional security. It provides small farmer livelihood, water conservation. Government is providing a lot of support, cultural significance, and market opportunity. That is why the cropping pattern is being changing, and it is in favor of millets. It is changing and it is favoring the millets, right? So after that, you write a very balanced conclusion, which says that emphasis on millet production and consumption in the Indian context is driven by the combination of factors like climate resilience, nutrition security, livelihood improvement, and various other things. So, this shift in cropping pattern reflects a broader commitment to sustainable agriculture and food security. See here, this is what the main line, because your examiner will see at the last how you are concluding, whether you got lost away in the answer or whether you are remain intact. So this, your last line of the conclusion will tell the examiner that whatever you have written, it is related to the shift in cropping pattern related to millet. So this is how you write a UPSC answer. Okay, here you are answer, and you will get 250 words of answer. At least make sure that whatever the topics are there, whatever the topics are there for UPSC in GS1 or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it is, for every topic you should have 250 word of answer, because rest you will supplement it with current affair. Okay, then you are done with the preparation. Okay, that is why that is the way you have to focus on. I will be helping you out in creating your better, like how you can write an answer, what is the good answer, how you can make your answer visible in the exam. I will be coming with these lectures also in the coming future. So you don't worry. You are with Ras Indica IS Academy, and we'll help you in whatever the way possible. So thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.